Right now I want to demonstrate how you can export images for the website directly out of Photoshop. As mentioned in the video before, I will most of the time when I'm in the Lightroom workflow export the final images directly out of Lightroom with its export dialog, but from time to time, or when I create, for example, my thumbnails, I will definitely go just through Photoshop and export them out of Photoshop as JPEG. Right now I will take a panoramic image, work on them or on this image a little bit in Photoshop, and after that we'll export this out of Photoshop. So in this case I will start inside Photoshop and or inside Lightroom for sure, and just will create the final image like so. I will also do the sharpening for this image as well. So just sharpen the details, go here in and do the noise reduction, and I'm looking if everything is fine. Yeah, that's for sure. And now I will go inside Photoshop with this image and just do the retouching, and after that I will export this image out of Photoshop. As mentioned before, normally I would do this in Lightroom, but here just for demonstration's sake I will go and use Photoshop for this. So here's the image getting read from Photoshop. The image is here in Photoshop. I will create a retouching layer and just will retouch away this pole over here. So I will just take the spot healing brush and see what Photoshop is doing when I'm painting over this. Yeah, that's quite okay. Just see if there are some seams or anything like I don't want to. Okay, that's cool. Then the line over here, remove it in small strokes like so. Here I can use the pressure sensibility or sensitivity on the Wacom tablet just to create a nice shape. So for the small line I don't have to press that hard, just go with a lighter pressing. I will also remove this pole over here, this one, this region again. Let's see, yeah, this works. Maybe here there are some repeating patterns, so just watch if the patterns should be away, like so. These poles over there, and then this as well. Okay, and now I have to catch the line, and this power line goes over to here. Now with less pressure on the tablet for a smaller line. Yeah, that's okay. Fill in this gap over here. What's that? That's okay. So this poles away. This as well. Maybe fix this region, and then just see if there is something left. Yeah, but so I think that's okay. Now there are some dots on the sensor. You can spot this really quickly because the spacing between the dots is so regularly. So here, 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 and so on. So just remove everything you don't need. Okay, if I'm now finished with the retouching, I can now go and export this from Photoshop. So you have the file menu, the export dialog, and here you have export as. And when you press on this, you have the export as dialog. And here you basically have the image size, and there I will go in and say I want to have 1600 pixels. So the original pixel size of the image here in the background won't be affected. This is just the pixel size for the export. And for the file settings, you will definitely use the JPEG format. And for the quality, you can say how high the compression should be, or how good the image quality should be. And when I use 7 as the maximum in this case, you see the image size on the hard disk or on the server, if you upload this to the internet, is 400 kilobytes. So in this case, because it's a panoramic image and a quite wide panoramic image, I will go to 2500 pixels over here for the image size for the export. Photoshop will calculate the image. You see here the calculating animation, and there I can go in and add some copyright and contact information. I will convert this image to sRGB while the export, and I will embed the color profile, this sRGB color profile, and now I can press on export, choose the desktop as my exporting destination, just leave the name as it is, and export this image out of Photoshop. Photoshop will calculate this right now because it was a really big image. This takes the time. And the cool stuff on the export dialog is that you don't change the image size over here. So the image size is still the original 19,000 pixels. You just alter the image size for the export dialog. So no chance to lose pixels, because if you would go to image size and just change the size over here, Photoshop will recalculate your image for sure. And I now press on OK. I have a quite smaller image, and now it's really dangerous that you save over this image, because you would ditch all the pixels. So just go with the export dialog and dial in the size. Yes, that's the export dialog in Photoshop. As mentioned before, in this case, that's just for demonstration. Normally, I would retouch the image or come from Lightroom to Photoshop, retouch the image, save the image, then I have it back into Lightroom and export it from there. If I have some images to work on directly in Photoshop, for example, as mentioned before, my thumbnails, then I will definitely go via the export dialog from Photoshop, dial in all the numbers, see how big the final image will be on the hard disk of the website, the server, because with the quality slider you can trade quality to file size and find the sweet spot, and that's the advantage when you go with the Photoshop export dialog.